I had a request to Accra Central. That was around 1:30. So I got there around 1:45 thereabout. Then after I got there, there was an incoming request and I picked. So once I picked, I had to trace the map to where the person is. So once I got to the place, that was around Accra Central, around post office, 2 a.m. I was parked waiting for the person to come. The person came. He came, he was like, well, there is a friend of mine or a brother of his is also coming to join. So you have to wait for about a minute or two. And I was like, no problem. So he sat in front, and within a minute or two, the friend came, and the friend sat at the back. So I just had to pick my phone and decided to start the ride. The moment I started the ride, then the one sitting in front pulled a knife at me. Then all what he said was that I should hand over my money and my phone to them and that they wouldn't harm me. That's what they need. And I was like, if it's only the money and the phone, I don't have any problem. Meanwhile, the other one at the back was also holding a weapon. I didn't really see what he was holding. Yeah, but I guess he was holding a weapon and they were just yelling at me like that. And at that time, there was nobody around. All I could see was someone afar. But I was wondering if the person could even notice what was happening. I just had to hand over the phone and the money. Initially, I was trying to resist what they were doing, but they kept on threatening me. So I just had to hand over the little money on me, that I toiled for during the night. So that was where they opened the door and they left. Yeah, so that was my experience. But at least the most important thing is they didn't take my car away. And they didn't harm me. Once I gave out what they needed, that was it. We normally go through a lot. A lot of us have been killed. Some have been killed without even hearing of them. They have been reported missing, but we don't get to hear of how they got missing. And some of them too have been found. Recently, there was an attack on one Uber driver at Toya River, but he was fortunate, he was able to call for support where he found himself. Okay. And he got that support, and they were able to arrest those guys who were involved. Yeah, so we go through a lot. Most of the time, people tell us to, keep weapons on us. But sometimes sometimes you can keep a weapon, but when there's an attack, it's difficult to even bring out the weapon. So there's this story a friend of mine also shared with me. He's also an Uber driver like me. So I just had to listen to the story. And it's interesting. One day he was working and he had a request and he went to pick the person. Upon arriving at the destination, he didn't see anyone, so he decided to call the person. When he called, the person who picked was a lady, so it was like, well, he has arrived, he's waiting for her outside. And the lady was like, well, he should come inside. And the guy was like, how do you expect me to come inside? This was a big house. And the lady was like, no, you should come inside. So the driver went in, he went through the hall. Still, the lady told him to come in. Upon arriving at the hall, the lady was like, well, the reason why she called him here, it's not like she's going to any place or something, but this is a big house. And she's a daughter of one of the big men in the country. And she's mostly indoors all the time. And today, that particular day, she feels for, so she just had to request. Since she wasn't getting anyone or she didn't have anyone in mind to call, she just had to request so that whoever picks would be the victim. So the driver was surprised to hear that because in his working, he hasn't heard of any story of such. So the driver initially was rejecting it. Then he was like, oh, he should help her out because it's been a while she engaged in such acts. So still the driver was trying to reject, and the lady was like, well, after everything that he wants, she will pay to the guy. The guy was like, is she serious? And she was like, yeah, she's serious. So eventually, a bedroom one guy in the pen who upon leaving, and a lady, a man envelope. The envelope pretty much 1,000 cedis. The guy was like, wow, for this 1,000 cedis. And on the agreement, say as time goes on, if anything, she will just call him. Or baby answer, and it has continued for some time now. Or could be 1,000 cedis. I bet it's a contract, and I bet it's a friends of benefit or no guy in the singer with money. Terms of the girl in the sales. Every time he goes, even if it's a week, he goes to sleep there twice or thrice. That's about 3,000 or 2,000. Sometimes he's scared. But you see, the lady is also smart. She's always at home. Yeah, she's not allowed to go out and stuff. So she normally monitors the environment, monitors everything before she invites the guy to the place. So it has been going on for some time now. Yeah, and he's enjoying as an Uber driver. Yeah.
But someone to also say, isn't he scared? Maybe the lady is doing that to you. We're in Africa, juju and stuff.
Yeah, he thought of it initially, but later on he realized that no, it's genuine. Yeah, it's genuine. So he just had to take advantage of it and enjoy.
But if it were to you that had that thing, would you do it?
Well, it will depend because it's risky though. Yeah, someone you don't know and trying to get, the person just requests you randomly. You don't know the person, and it's a big house according to the guy. It's a big house, and you don't know what goes on there. But if you are me, Charlie, it's advantage.
You do it.
Maybe I'll even find chair. But I'll just do it for some time, then I'll stop. But as a guy now, he's enjoying it, so he's still doing it. Yeah. But it's unfortunate we don't get such
Opportunity.
Yeah. Because when you hear certain stories like that, you'll be like, you're also doing the same job, but you don't get to meet such, encounters. So sometimes you just have to work for your money. Yeah, let's hope that maybe certain opportunities will also come. And there was a friend of mine, and it's also a lesson to most of the drivers out there that sometimes we don't get carried by emotions and act in so many different ways. So there was a story that a friend of mine told me. He had a ride outside Accra, and they were supposed to go spend I think a day. So after that day, they spent. Okay, the initial agreement was a day. And when they went, it exceeded. They spent 5 days. And that wasn't part of the agreement. But it happened that way. And one shocking thing was that after everything and they were returning back to Accra, my guy didn't really complain. Because initially the agreement was a day and its price. But we spent the days and it has to be added to it. On a normal day, some drivers would complain and share their emotions in a wrongful way. But this guy didn't. He just kept quiet and he drove the white man back to Accra safely. So I think based on that gesture, the white man realized that no, this guy is a good guy because how can most drivers wouldn't do that? Because I pick you for a 1 day trip and it exceeded to 5 days and he didn't even say a word, he didn't complain, he brought me back to Accra. So the white man then went on to ask the guy, what does he need? And the guy was like, he just needs his money. Once a day was this price and it's now 5 days, just add it up and that is it. And the white man was like, no, you sort it out though, but what he has seen, he just wants to, dash out something, he just wants to give him something special. So the guy was like, okay, if he says so, there's a car that I want to buy. That's my money is not up to. And I'm going to check everything and I'm still gathering money to go get it. The guy told the white man that, okay, that is what he wished, that he have his own car and be a bit free from all the stress. So the white man was like, okay, that's what he wants. And he was like, yeah. As if it was a joke. The white man was like, okay, come the following day and come pick me up to a place. He didn't actually tell him that I was taking him to a garage or something, but he just told him that the following day he should come and pick him up to a place. So when he came, he was like, okay, you should drive him to the garage he wants to buy his car. So my friend was like, like how? This is something that I'm not expecting. So he was like, okay. I said, drive me to the garage. So my friend drove him to the garage. I think the garage is around La Paz area there, yeah. Once they got there, he asked the car dealer the price and he mentioned the price. I think it was around 60-something thousand. And the white man just paid in cash, everything, like in full payment. And they brought the car back home. The following day, he led my friend to a place again, to DVLA for registration. And they just went to do the registration, everything in his name. Then that was it. So my guy was very much surprised. And the white man was like, do you know why? Do you know why I did this? It's because you showed some attitude that most people wouldn't do. And in fact, that was why he's repaying him with this. He'll be leaving in the next 3 days. So he would want him to come and pick him to airport. And that day too, he went to pick him to airport. And they gave him a huge sums of money as well. And that was it. To date, my friend still uses the car free of charge. Someone just bought it for him.
And does he see the white man often?
No, not at all. Today, he hasn't seen him anywhere.
Whoa.
He doesn't even have his contact.
Whoa.
He just came to Ghana to spend some holidays, and that was it. They met, and all those transactions happened. So today, he can't even see the white man and say that this is the man.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's so amazing. So I picked a lot from that story. So in this job that we are doing, we meet a lot of good people, as well as bad people as well.
Okay.
But if you present yourself well, or you always be nice to people, you always say the customer is always right. Even those people who sells it, that's what they say. That's the same thing. This is our office.
This is your office.
Yeah. So you always have to treat people as your customers, and you might not know. You meet different kinds of people each and every day. Different kinds of lawyers, doctors, nurses, administrators, businessmen. You pick different kinds of people. So you might not know where a lot of people has had opportunities through this driving by meeting people. A lot of people have also created some network among themselves.
You said you work in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
How is that industry? So you're a pharmacist, right?
I wouldn't say I'm a pharmacist. Maybe by chance I got there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by chance I got there.
How is that industry?
It's also a broad industry actually. I got opportunity to be working in one of the prestigious pharmaceutical companies, and we were the ones producing, or we're in the production room. We're the one producing the drugs. Most of the drugs you see around.
Oh.
Yeah, most of the drugs we take in.
Like
The paras, the popular ones, para, multivitamins, Bico, all those popular ones.
Okay.
And a lot, syrups and stuff. So it was hectic though, waking up early in the morning to go to work. At that time too, the salary wasn't that good. Actually, yeah, the salary wasn't that good. So personally, transportation was just a problem. Yeah, so at some point I had to abandon picking cab and buy bicycle to be able to cut off costs. Yes, I was doing that for some 2 3 years until my dad got sick, and I realized that money wasn't enough.
for you to
Yeah, so a friend of mine actually advised me to enter into this Uber thing. Yeah, he was in it, and he advised me a lot of, because I told him that that's for me. If I would drive, then maybe it's just my private car that maybe in the near future I just buy my private car and just
be driving.
be driving it. Then he was like, no, just try, because it's good. This monthly works is sometimes you have to go through a lot. But with this one, even though the car might not be yours though, but it feels like you are your own boss. You go to work when you feel like going.
Oh,
Yeah.
but why did you decide to work in the night?
At that time, I needed money actually to sort out some things. I was working through Friday to Saturday, so I left Friday in the morning. Then I decided to work throughout to Saturday evening. But unfortunately, that Saturday 2 a.m. I was robbed, and that was a 10 minutes. So I just drove back home to so the phone I'm using now, it was the phone I got after that robbery. Yeah. But that was around last year. Yeah.
Just this last year.
Yeah, just last year.
What is a typical day in the manufacturing room like?
The typical day is you just go and you write your name, you enter. Once you get to the production room, there is a timetable or a production timetable there. So each and every day is what you are going to produce. So let's say it's Monday. Mondays you normally produces para. So that's what we do. Tuesdays is multivitamin. So normally, let's say a typical Monday like this, once you go, you are producing para. You just go to the material room where you get all those stuffs you used to produce the para. So if you know you are going to add this, you are going to add this, you are going to add this to get the para. So first of all, you get your materials, and actually there are people who supply the material to our production room, but you have to go to let them know that this is what you are producing today. So this is what they have to get for it. Once they bring it, you start
You
work.
start work.
Yeah.
But
you
is that
start doing-
industry lucrative?
I was a worker, so I wouldn't. But maybe to the managers, maybe it's lucrative. But to me, well, maybe if I had been there for quite a longer time, maybe it would have
would
been.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it would have been. But being there at that time, the money wasn't. It might be good for some people, but for me,
It wasn't.
I was going through a lot, so I thought it wasn't so.
good.
Yeah, so I had to look for alternatives, and I was looking for that alternative. That was when my dad also got sick, admitted, and a whole lot. I had to stop.
Until we meet again. Instagram Ride and Chat or Twitter Ride and Chat, TikTok Ride and Chat, YouTube Ride and Chat. Let's have conversation. If you have a story, DM me on Instagram. Let's meet and then shoot. God bless you. It is bye bye for myself and my boss. Bye bye.
Bye.